Good morning, everyone. It is October 19th, 2021. I wanted to say happy birthday to my twin. I'm sending you lots of love. I just did a little girl meditation, which was very profound, so I wanted to share it with you first. I do have a union and twin flame read and a big message of the day. So I went into my little girl just now, and she was sitting in the middle, meditating, and very serious today about the meditation. Very, sitting formally in lotus and facing left. And then all of a sudden a swirl came around her and she became very etheric as the angel of mercy swirling up. And I thought it was her becoming an angel and going over to the right, but it was actually her awakening the masculine and giving him his wings as he's in prayer position, flying off into the right. Then the little girl is back on the midline, facing the left, very serious in her meditation, as she then starts circling and turns her back towards me so I can't see her because she's being very serious about her meditation. And as I watch her, her hair grew very long, but as the circle turns, I see that she's still a little girl, even though her hair is very long. But then she does grow, and she starts to grow, and I see her with this very proper, pretty white collar and bow, very feminine-like, and learning to shoot a gun and hang out with the boys and the men. And then going through birthing of children and the worry of being a single mother and the mother and the father, as it made me tear up. And then becoming empowered after that as she still circles around. It's like she's on a circling tray, she's not moving. She's just circling around in the circle of life. And it's making me tear up again. And as she goes through the coming back to the feminine of birthing and then being the mother and the father of both, then becoming empowered enough to walk away to love herself again, and then meeting her twin. Because she was ready to love herself again. So first is the message of the day, but I think first we need to take our deep breaths. I just want to get to these pictures for you guys. I have to turn them around for you. Give me one moment. Take a deep breath. One more. Okay, now I'm all set. Okay. So first, let's go ahead and take our deep breaths. Take another deep breath. And another deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to you all. Hope you're all doing well. It's a beautiful sunny day outside today. And thank you so much for being a part of my journey. I so appreciate you guys. Okay. So here's your message of the day. Look, we're going to roll the die first, and I'll show you the pictures first, and then we'll get into the message of the day. So this is for the twin flames. This is the Aries, so the ram, that's very masculine energy, very driven. We have the moon as well. As we're coming up to that moon, on the 20th, tomorrow is the full moon. The 2 of the High Priestess, also the divine feminine energy, the mediative energy, which is also the Pisces energy. The moon is the Cancer, and then Aries. And we're getting the mother from the Cancer energy, the home energy rather than the mother. The High Priestess of being in your knowing and having that drive of the Aries, right? Because it's the first one out. Like I'm getting the horse coming out of the gate. And again, lots of family energy coming up this week as well. Like I already brought up, you'll be mirroring people, siblings in your family, perhaps parents, and dealing with parents as well. The 2 of the High Priestess being in your knowing and really focusing very strongly on self. And Aries is very much of that selfish energy too, being the first energy out of the astrological circle. So here is the reads. I actually did a 3D, 4D, 5D union read for myself, which I'm going to share with you. And then I have a 4D, 5D, 6D read for the collective. These are general readings. And then the usual read in front of you. So this is my 3D, 4D, 5D read for my union. This is the 4D, 5D, 6D read for the collective. And then here is the read in front of you. Okay, this is the Syrian Starseed deck for both. And then you see the 7 deck read in front of you, and here is the message of the day. And it is a big one. And this is a little addendum to that. It just didn't fit all in the same place. In case you can't see those first 2 cards up top in the picture, they're the otter and the otter and the worm. So very young energy, because the worm is like a newbie and the otter is like that innocent little 2-year-old in a diaper. And the fire ants is the underlying energy, so you can identify where I am there. So it goes like, this read goes from the underlying energies here, and this is all the first section, these two, and this. And then here's like the peanut gallery, and this is like the masters coming. Oh, it'll give you the message. But anyway, it goes 1, 2, 3, this one, then this one, and then that last one that I showed you. Okay. So the message of the day, and this was done yesterday at 11. I was getting 23 to 24, but also 25 to 26, as well as to 11:30. So it was a long read. So from the 23 of these, they're all of the wands are coming up here. The King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the Knight, and the Page of Wands. And then the 11:30 of Justice, which is truth and balance, and the 30 of union to the 1 of the 0-1 high vibration and the Magician embodiment. And I was getting constantly yesterday Justice after all, which came up in the read as well, with Justice at the end. So Justice is at the end of the read as the final card right there. And then Justice after all. So it's basically saying the justice comes after all that is. And it's 11:38 on my clock, which is the Queen of Cups. And it was 8:44 on this clock, which is the 44-8 of the grounding and integrating and mastering of love, and 38-11. Were coming up as the card. That's the way the number or the numerology would be written, as we just turned to 39 of the Knight of Cups. So the message of the day, the underlying energy were the fire ants, the moon, the tower, and poverty. And it sounded very windy out. I was hearing trucks and planes and bells, etc., but in the distance, and yet peaceful here. The birds were sounding distant as well, but the wind was being most prominent, and that was at 11:35, which is justice for the wounded warrior, which I always tell you isn't from the divine masculine or the human being. The wounded warrior is how the human begins their journey in child's pose, skinned. Rushing into the spot, the event, the wound, the accident, the trauma, the star, as the FedEx truck just pulled up. Rushing into that spot, the event, the wound, the accident, the trauma, the star, the delivery perhaps, the red in the middle to the orange and yellow in the circle of trust, in the ring, the boxing ring, the marital ring, the ring of fire. At night, the pinpointing the subconscious wounds, the unfamiliar face, covering nails so they won't scratch or damage. Hurt on journey of going within after experiencing without. The tower event, or jumping out of the towers. So there's wounds about the towers event. People who had experienced that personally is coming up here, as well as the collective energies around that. The tower event of jumping out of a window and the fear of that, or cracking the egg open, or getting kicked out, fired. The epiphany and or the orgasm, the culmination of the implosion of or arousal to the explosion, which is the implosion and the explosion, a reordering of the energies in a nanosecond. The moment before the quantum leap, justice after all and all that is. All is the A of the zero with a little tail on it. The lowercase a is the human embodiment of source with connection to the 1-1, the 11. The human embodiment of source connecting to that 11, which is parallel alignment of resonation and harmony. Connecting to all that is, as spirit connects, justice for all, or justice in the fall. The expanding and the contraction, the implosion and explosion, the reflecting, which is in the middle of all. The orphan boy and the king of cups, that unconditional love. The blind man without. The fiddler on the roof on top of the world as a chimney sweep, free to fiddle and diddle as they please. The everythingness of the crowd without events, and the nothingness of the subconscious and being alone within. The hawk clears the way, disguised as the shark, to scare the lamb, the innocent target, to discern with their feelings as opposed to their eyes, to know what's actually coming, and to surround themselves with an army of ants who won't allow the shark to get to them. Or is the army of ants what you are being tricked into? The hawk teaching the lamb how to discern the difference. And it's making me cry. It's like a parent and why they take on the appearance of the shark to teach their children to protect themselves. The entry wound and how to clear it. Show you how to get to the entry wound as well, where the ants are helping the ones in the center or attacking their own, helping to heal the wound or make it worse, or the tribe ready to sacrifice the lamb or have a roast, to use the pure one and vampire their energy source, to hurt them or make fun of them, to stone them, to ostracize them and shame them and exile them, like Atlas forever to carry the world on his back, frozen in time with no break, no reason or rhyme. Unfair, no fair or picnic, holding things up so that everyone else can pass through. The sacrificial lamb and the hawk on their way to rescue them by infiltration, going within like the bacteria into the clam or the oyster. The insider at 12 noon, high noon, the true Hollywood story of the silencing of the lamb. And then we have High Noon, right? John Wayne and all those Western movies, digging deep with self-love and well wishes to find a letter, a note, a sealed document of new passion. The fox leaving the hen house to take a chance to be love and connect with their true north. The higher self, at home in intuition, able to control oneself on the journey within, to pinpoint the entry wound, what happens between the new and the fall and the moons when people aren't paying attention, right? Between the full and the new moon. Everyone pays attention to the new and the moon or the full, but there's no focus in between, or the assumptions about the buildup or letdown. The monkey or monk key in the middle, the Knight of Cups with the Holy Grail in hand, excited to release and have their world turned upside down in a quantum moment, the moment of creation, where you toss everything out and start again. the main male who's been dancing, and a false person or couple and their community of being the loving one, while the female of a higher love, the patient, the angel, receives a message of concern, or the wrong message came across as the man with sudden thoughts of a woman. And the scent of a woman was coming through again today. Actually, in my meditation that I just told you about, the scent of a woman came up as she learns to become empowered as she gives birth. Judicating home or a union, or taking off on their own. And you notice the judicating has the Jew in it, which is the Jesus energy. The judicating of home or union and taking off on their own, or because of their thoughts, lost everything, whether feeling like they financially, morally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically become impoverished. As the King of Cups, with conditions of love for self and others, being attacked, forcing you inside to explode and then leave, all right? So you're being forced within and then forced to explode, all that pressure and buildup like the diamond becoming so. At 12:12 here, of the two hangmen hanging out together, being attacked, forcing you inside in order to you then attack yourself and explode, and leaving on journey to unconditional love. So here there's the energy of one freeing themselves from a situation. The one of the otter and the worm, the innocent and the newbie, the otter open and curious, but the worm is easily intimidated. And the name Tim was coming up here as well. Or there may be Tim or time that is dated. The otter with breakthroughs in love and patient and working through being a higher love and or the angelic realms. But the worm is all cuddling up around their rainbow light, burdened by weakness, the atlas of the weight and the world, the poor health or need for strength and courage here. All the parts of being a girl. The 38 of the Queen of Cups, loving and kind and intuitive. And then the little girl, daddy's girl, the moon child, who wants to be protected by her father and seen by her mother, and then becoming a mother herself. I didn't even remember that this was in there when I had my meditation just before the read. The twin flame, the divine feminine, seeing her inner masculine and feminine, which was just my meditation, and the strong and weak parts of each. Or a mother helping their daughters choose paths for themselves, wanting to work or wanting to stay home or wanting to do both, and why. The second section here is the vulture watching them, with the sea serpent, which is the sacral chakra, like a stern grandparent not leaving much room to grow or room for error, perhaps due to their young ages and not wanting them to get hurt, right, badly. After all, the vulture is a predator and takes one to know one. Cleanup duty, right, cleaning up the poop, and being creative and learning their environment while being safe at the same time. So again, here is the culmination of opposites coming together, the explosion and the implosion, right? Being creative in a learning environment, wanting to expand your child while keeping them safe at the same time, are two opposites coming together at 12:25, which is the hanging man and the Knight of Wands. The vulture, the sudden star, healing with dreams come true, happy, cleaning up duty, and sharing, being charitable with their inspiration and great fortune, the way you feel after you first give birth. The sea serpent, again, the sacral chakra of creation and the child, the sea serpent of the power lady with gifts, where the feminine comes into her power after having given birth, present in the moment with the Page of Swords reversed, negative child, or her own inner negative self-talk about where this unexpected income came from. Like, did you deserve this beautiful gift that you just received? Yet very exciting at the same time, wanting to be able to share their good fortune with child, and yet restrict them at the same time to teach the child to be grateful for what they have and how to create it themselves with inspiration. The sudden gifts that inspire, like at a birthday party. All the new toys that give them a new perspective on life. The third pile here of the firefly with great inspiration, but too high vibe to last very long. And the hothead elk who requires adornments and to be fed well. The rabbit ears are up about the spider caught in the web, Or is that their own wicked web they wove at 12:33, the hangman and the Christ vibration? The mother and the father arguing about what's okay for their child, and the World Wide Web, or World War I, right, that has been achieved, not World War I, but the World War that has been won, and because of unity won. So it's just a play on the World War I, but the World War of the Wounded Warrior here, and the World Wide Web and the fishing expedition. The firefly nesting the golden egg with deliveries and looking up at the stars, healing and dreaming and yet suffering in silence too, or perhaps dealing with your sister, or purging, or just not sleeping well, with uninvited counsel from mature woman, whether that's her or her mother's interference. The elk, perhaps a bit steamy here, standing up for themselves, with the key to their freedom, wanting unity for the Page of Wands, that inner child who's inspired by their mother's grief and their father with concerns of martyrdom here, his own. The father coming up as the high vibe here, and the mother and our grandmother as a 3D energy here, or depressed with dark mother syndrome. Also, this can be a depressed child living with mother, an inspired one with father, so two different kids, but kids are missing each other, or the inner children of the inspired older woman nesting, and the hothead or fiery older man freeing themselves from imprisonment in order to come together. The family love and the sacrificial love here, the two sides of the same coin, as the bunny with gifts who's always scared, or the hermit with light officially on the fool's journey, the spider in the web like the lion's den, with the family tree and clearing through the trunk to separation and sealed message opened here. And there's the breaking of the 7 seals, and then the 7 trumpeters also. The family changing with freedom and expansion, leaving on trip or moving and ascending or car dealings here. Perhaps the divine feminine allowing both to go to mothers or grandmothers as he hermits with gifts and separation, with the World Wide Web and the 4D bridge, figuring out their message to bring. The mature woman and the man with concerns on official journey where the chariot is the message, the vehicle that enables you to get in where you otherwise couldn't enter. Again, the bacteria going into the clam or oyster. Infiltration, getting into a group in order to infiltrate from within. The Mother Mary and JC Awakening Collective, officially at 12:51, the hanging man, the wisdom of the King of Swords, with a message from the chariot, which is the feminine within the masculine, coming out. Or two parents with a child with anxiety, or one all over the World Wide Web, stuck in its hole. Everyone worrying about their children and what they're able to do on the web. A loving family allowing freedom to explore their gifts, and family tree and their Akashic records. Purging suffering in silence, or up nights not being able to sleep, or a sister and inspired. The hermit with light on separation, or party of 3. A mature loving woman with older man with concerns about official person on the fool and journey with a message or gifting a car or vehicle. The trigger that will get them in, or applying to colleges and or jobs, or even country clubs here. The 4th pile of the horse, the bear, and the owl, the wise ones, the committee, the god, the bear, and the god is the god, right? The lead, the one in control. The bear is the one in for the long haul, and then the owl for wise counsel. The clear and sunny, and the one who clears the air. Mr. Ed with vision of seeing closer, magnetic, and grounding and integrating and mastering the GIM of love. The one who's good with details and not taking any crap, or keeping their feelings out of their decision making. He could be paranoid about germs, not letting anyone in the house, or exploring heated exchange, or hot, telling about final judgment or wake-up call, or a big house, or a prison sentence perhaps. The bear, right? The bear who's so good at hibernating in the winter, as we come upon the winter, is very spiritually mature and peaceful, in union with the Queen of Cups reversed, who's sad while on the path of the wounded warrior, getting to the Fool's journey. All right, so we have the Wounded Warrior's journey from the time you become a human, getting to the place where you can go on the Fool's journey, which is like a teenager finding a new life, and or vice versa, learning to surrender feelings and or emotions. Perhaps here, neither are telling their true feelings to each other about the house. It's like he about the house and she about the path. Their guidance here, a challenge to complete the Atlas union or the weight of the world of the home, of selling it, of moving, or unstable home causing imprisonment, or locked it and unable to get out through, or although complete. This can be locked into a deal that they can't get out of. Or the house or marriage is a life sentence, the gift of imprisonment, forcing them to be present in the moment. Whether it's the home, the path, or the actual prison, the sentence is to learn to be present and follow your own guidance, not theirs. This can be a marital and or divorce counseling, mediation, or if someone doesn't do what they're supposed to, they will go to jail here. The fifth pile here is the frog meets the croc, where the crocodile is trying to negatively influence the little one. So here's the bad influences around. The frog can choose the dark or the light, and the reptile is trying to sway them to the dark side. But the crocodile has already cut off their nose to spite their face, right? Because they're all about self and ego, showing all their teeth, or in other words, they're showing their hand to this young energy at 111, which is the magician and justice. Regarding the golden egg and the heart chakra, nesting with the fox, the fish, the wolf, and the whale. The fox is pretty steady here, but the fish and whale are struggling in the dark waters, and the wolf is skinned into submission, or stunned into submission. So the wolf may be the wounded warrior here, because they're coming up as the one who's skinned. At 113, which is the magician and the death card, or transition, the dark night of the soul. The frog with wise counsel, the owl's defenseless to, or attacking the wealthy man in transition. The crocodile's impatient, cracking the whip with justice of the page of pentacles reversed, who missed out in the family room or needing help, money, or time to complete the family room before the frog sells it. Or the crocodile is trying to take their home from them. Perhaps they're in default. Or a child's apartment is damaged in the living room, perhaps nesting with their pup. And perhaps the pup or child found a way out or ran away or went back to their old home, but there's no emotions to ground into because there's no one there. Or Atlas that sailed or found a way out, but with nothing to ground into, no emotions there to be found. And this is at 120, which is the magician and the judgment, the wake-up call. Or the child or pup returned to work and home, and all was gone and perhaps on sale, and they didn't know. The reptile from justice system being harsh with the page of pentacles reversed, perhaps a homeless child in need of help, or a pet in a crate on a ship to nowhere, or escaped and ran home to nothing. At 126, the magician and the page of wands, as the mail was delivered right there, deliverance. The fox confused, out at night looking and searching before the courthouse with the king of wands and paperwork, perhaps needing to find something that was lost. The fish out of water and the queen of cups trying to cross bridges, but frustrated as the main female high priestess, and the wolf exposed or conflicted and expanding with the queen of pentacles hermit to changes, and perhaps saw her upgrades regarding the car, the home, or living conditions, and the whale exhausted on a life raft without a lifeline, destined to make cuts and separate the wheat from the chaff, and expose the wise privileged lady, where she is his sunshine, his light, his energy, his lifeline. Defenseless frog, the page of pentacles reversed, with pup always finding a way back to them, finding peace at night with frustration with the queen of pentacles sunshine and or exposure, or wealthy man with an empty home or room that's now completed and no emotional attachment here, transferring to the main female for change of address and or status, or for the king of wands and the high priestess hermit to now hang out, or Pisces with new home, perhaps a room at a wealthy man's house, but can they be trusted if you're going to live there with them? Or wealthy man leaves his property to a main female or their daughters, and not to the spouse at 141, which is the magician and the Ace of Cups, or finding a way around an opportunist or woman who had an affair and got pregnant, or got pregnant and aborted without telling their spouse. The sixth grouping here is the elephant, the hyena, the moth, the camel, and the blues, or the camel with the blues. Ellie with new doors opening, dropping the facade about or getting married. The fool's journey to abundance, or the empress. The hyena, queen of wands, with connection and leaving unhappy family to be courted by the emperor. So they could be leaving their marriage to get the rich guy. Or the empress married, and this could be a father as well. It can be their partner's father they fell in love with. Or the empress is married and the emperor's courting, or the emperor's married and courting at the same time, in bad health or sick to their stomach, conflicted about the energetic exchange, or occupied with, or health occupation at 147, which is the magician, and the Seven of Cups, which is the synchronicities, having lots of choices, which can be confusing, and or heaven in their eyes, which then comes up the moth to the flame, which is seeing everything that sparkles, right? With the wounded warrior surrendering at 148, the magician and the walking away and within, announcing judgment or a wake-up call to better health or health care and conflicts around it, or the moth drawn to the flame to anchor in and call out bad health care and or battles around what's good care. The independent camel with a pushy dark mother, perhaps a bit cold, with the king of wands or the king of swords reversed, going back and forth at work, or about what kind of work will secure their daughter's or spouse's future. If he should get sick, how would they care for them? Or the king of swords reversed mother pushed him into his current occupation. It wasn't his choice. The elephant with flame in a hidden trunk and red third eye that never forgets, on fool's journey to open doors and break patterns around marriage and abundance, with the hyena who hurts people's feelings, the queen of wands who's unhappy or unfulfilled by the emperor's courtship, and the wounded warrior who's cutting ties, wanting a flame, a wake-up call perhaps to wanting to take care of those in bad health, fighting losing battles, or in the pursuit of happiness, or calling in flame to heal. The independent mama bear who may be cold and shadowy due to the king of swords reversed, who's silent, yet occupied by the energetic exchange with them. Or the elephant's road to independence or perdition, from a marriage to courtship without marriage, to then bad health, and then occupation in energetic exchange. So it's showing you, instead of doing things the regular way, where you deal with growing up and courtship and bad health issues and finding an occupation, then you get married. This is showing a reversal of that. Again, the explosion, the implosion, in order to come to the middle of the reflection or the 0 point. Again, the elephant's road to perdition or independence from a marriage, going towards courtship instead without marriage, and then going through bad health issues, and then occupation in energetic exchange, sowing the seeds of love. So then the Elohim came up here. And this is very significant. Spirit's connecting with me. So Elohim always has come up for me on this journey as ELO of the Electric Light Orchestra and the hymn of the song. And here from the message that was coming up after sowing the seeds of love, Elohim came El. And this was coming from the elephant, the hyena, the moth, and the camel. The Eli and him, and then the camel is the came El. So from Elohim came El. And there was someone on Elena Denon's, I forget his name, who was talking about his experience of Elohim actually being a planet that Jesus came from. And El is coming up as El, but this is going to lead into a certain direction, so let me take you through it. So the elephant holds a grudge. The hyena is hurtful. The moth is too fast, right? They jump first. And then the camel's too independent and blue because they're behind by themselves. The font from the elephant means pant, P-A-N-T, and all its definitions of hollow, depression, small valley or dell. The pledge, the container, deposit, the hinge, and that's the hinge comes up as the articulation as well. The pawn, right? The need to move the pawn, the mortgage, the security, the forfeit, drinking fountain, pants that you wear, but also panting, heaving, longing for, breathing quickly, violent palpitation of the heart, which I've actually been feeling my heart palpating recently before I go to sleep at night. And then the ENA was coming up as water, the interior, inner, internal world. The week, the day of the week, kind of weak, but you can see it as weakness as well. To have this, next, following, one, to unite and agree. So the Elohim comes up as the ELO of the electric light orchestra of the she, right? The electrons running around the neutron, and the hymn of the song. So it's coming up as she is the orchestra of his song. She is the details of his song. The E is the hinge or articulation, the longing for, the desire, the violent palpitation of the heart. The high in the unification, the MO to the nth degree. From their MO to the nth degree came EL. L. E plus L equals just L, which equals love. The divine feminine within the divine masculine. Without her, he'd be a plane accelerating faster and faster with nothing to stop them from crashing. The unending train to nowhere. What's the point? Well, 0 point. 0 point is having it all, the nothingness and the everythingness all at once. The ding that just came up when I wrote that at 2:16, which is the High Priestess, and the Tower, which is the Epiphany, as Independence Blue Cross texted me, which is the camel, the independent who's blue and cross, LOL, burdened by healthcare. The Red Cross versus the Blue Cross, the elephant versus the camel, the charity versus the insurance, the savior versus betting on your own failure just in case, the basket case. So very interesting energies came up there. All right, so now we're going to go back to the union reads and then the read in front of you. Okay, so these were from the 17th when I did the main reads. That's a scam. Oop, I just dropped my phone, sorry. That was a scam call from New Hope. That was a very interesting message as my phone just dropped and now I can't reach it. It's down with all the electrical wires. So the union, this was the union I did for my union for the 3D 45D at 422 on the 17th, which is the 4 of the Emperor, the 22 of the Journey. And that was for the energy of going from the 18th to the 19th anyway. So it doesn't really matter that I didn't present it yesterday. The underlying energy here is this starseed. And then I'm losing my voice because they're just telling me it is important to get the messages out. In a timely way. So, a day isn't going to make a difference. But again, if you get a download, you should probably get it out, within, 24 to 48 type of hours. So the star seed here is the underlying energy. The central energy is the 3 of Cups. The 7 of Cups is the final energy here as the big bomb drops or hailstorm to the crown for a fresh new start to clear the way to come together and take the stairway to heaven. The 72 by 2 equals the 144 as the incoming divine feminine, the wounded warrior, the page of wands, and the star is the 14 plus the 4 of the wounded warrior's journey to the fool's journey, one flame in hand, 4 to 4. So very equal playing field there. The wounded warrior inspired by the stars in a fresh new start. The leap of faith and dreams come true as the rock star healer is leading the way. The 3D is the 10 of Wands, which is that Atlas energy, the 7 of Wands, and the 3 of Wands. So a lot of fire here in the 3D. The Atlas energy of the weight of the world with flame in hand, Dark to light, climbing up the steps at the end of the tunnel or the top of the staircase, seeing the light, leaving the wounded warrior behind for the fool's journey. Right? Leaving the wounded warrior's journey behind to go on the fool's journey, which is an open heart, free to leap. The divine masculine present to the flame and or their gifts, the moment and red dawn as bridging by phoenix with flame in hand, rising above drama to tango in the Middle East, or at 0 point, divine feminine at 433, which is the Emperor and the Christ vibration of the Seven of Wands and standing up for oneself. The fourth dimension was the three swords, the Three of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. So a lot of 3 energy here with the Knight of Wands, who can be a player for sure. The divine feminine ship searching in the storm, the end of the tunnel, lightning strikes as lighting up the heavens, underwater base and spaceship connection. The ship above the ocean that may be seen actually is showing underwater beings where to come up to the surface or for a pickup here. So this is an important message for someone who does that kind of work, who's in the military perhaps. Again, I'm getting a message that's saying if you see a spaceship hovering or some kind of ship hovering with a light and a searchlight, it's because they're lighting the way for the dark to come up from a base underneath the ocean. So if anyone knows anyone like that, please give them that message. The divine masculine Knight of Wands here with a sexy slow burn and hairless chest is coming up in the card as well, with royal colors or pain in the ass or hemorrhoids perhaps, bridging by coming together in joy or socially with reunion after separation. Again, there's the 2 coming together of the explosion and implosion. Catch me if you can, I'm the gingerbread man. As Michael is dancing across the sky with Agent 99 Metatron sneaking up behind with a loud sonic boom, showing up Michael. Or Metrons or Scientology meeting. So Metatron's coming up as Metrons or Scientology meeting. The 5D here is the 5 of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the Wheel, as the divine feminine is sad or healing in the woods by the creek or pond, with the 2 of Cups in front of them waiting. The divine masculine destiny of atom in the middle of the electrons, or electrons, so that can be, L. Ron Hubbard, electrons running in circles or laps around the monk key in the middle. The neutrons, right? The neutrons, as opposed to the electrons, are a bit slower or more his speed. As the bird hit the window in the living room and went right back to the tree, to the family tree, and that was at 4:43, and that could be hitting the ceiling, right? That it's not clear enough for them to break through. The 4 of the Emperor and the 43 of the coming together of the 3 of Cups. So again, the sentence, the divine masculine destiny of atom in the middle of electrons or electrons running in circles or laps around the monkey in the middle. The neutrons, who are a bit slower, are more his speed. Bridging with the Knight of Swords, sending high vibe message from a rock under a tree or top of a mountain, manifesting a love bubble here. The outgoing divine masculine of the King of Wands, the 4 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Wands. The King of Wands shaman, the divine masculine's heart in the crystal bat cave, in the circle of trust, the arrows of love from another perspective, at the helm, at daybreak, taking steps in circular motion above the horizon, manifesting heaven on earth. The divine feminine with dark to light, with Atlas to lightning and thunder, or Michael, I was getting Mike and Ike, or Metatron, so Ike is coming up from Tina Turner. So Mike and Ike and Metatron, or Metrons, unable to take in what's just been downloaded. So again, I'm going to read that sentence. Dark to light for the divine feminine, Atlas to lightning and thunder, or Mike and Ike, or Metatron, or Metrons, unable to take in what's just been downloaded. The divine masculine present, gifted, the Knight of Wands destined to be surrounded, always with an escape route, out the back to clear fans or exit strategy here. The bridge being standing up with flame in hand to come together to send high vibe messages. The divine masculine with Aries and Aquarius, the Wounded Warrior, Page of Wands, and Atlas, the Divine Masculine with Libra on their side, the Knight of Wands and King of Wands with the Divine Masculine's heart, 2x2 cave with back stairs for their quick exit strategy. 9 off, Seeker off, the Star on, plugged in, turned on, the Master of 4 or the Emperor, or Crate of Flames, or Christ Dance of Flames on the highway to heaven. And the overall number here was 59, which is the 5 of Swords, which is the war within. We had the Hanging Man, the Lovers, and the Ace of Cups, hanging out lovers in love and war, or the good and the bad. And then we had the Hermit, 2 zeros or source or space energy, the 18 of the Moon, the 10 of the Wheel, 3 of the Empress, the 0 again, and then the 4 of the Emperor and the 15 of the Devil, and the 59 of the 5 of Swords. So coming up as complete with space between the Hermit and the Moon, or Virgo and Cancer, destined Empress and Emperor with space between for the war within of taking the good with the bad. So then we have the union for the collective here for the twin flames. Oh, and also we know what air does to heat with no way out. So that, again, there's explosion there coming up at 501, which is the 5 of the Hierophant, but also change, freedom, and expansion, and the 1 of the Magician, making magic. At 522 is this read for the collective here, 4D, 5D, 6D. At 522, the Hierophant and the Fool's Journey, with the 8 of Cups, the Karma, 8 of Cups, the underlying energy, the walking away within, the Karma or the Judgment card in the middle, with the Lotus opening, and then the Lovers at the end. Walking away from karma and lovers, or karmic lover here. The incoming Divine Feminine, the 2 of Pentacles, Abundance, and the 4 of Swords. Surrendering to all that is, with open arms, and peace and rest in salt water, perhaps. Right where the land meets the sea. Man on land, surrendering Empress in the sea, and shadow on the sand in the foam with thought forms as the storm clears or comes in. Up and out and within, as Batman leaves emotions aligned and beelines to the beach at the waterline. So I'm going to say it again. Up and out and within, as Batman leaves emotions aligned and beelines to the beach at the waterline. And the horizon line, I think, comes up in here too. The 4D is the Sun, the 5 of Wands, and the 9 of Pentacles. The Divine Feminine, with Sun, it's the sun flowing, the sun flow in this, it's the sunflower in the sun, as Pegasus, or Peg as us, leaps across. She lights their way. And that was so weird. That was in my meditation I did for you just before as well. The Divine Masculine Sovereign, or with child gaining their independence, or Divine Feminine's secret garden with wise pure owl as counsel, bridging in waves of flames, dancing in the hot, humid sun, or waving goodbye to summer as a group. The 5D is the Page of Pentacles, Karma, and the Star. The Page of Pentacles curious to learn the Divine Masculine rock star healing, walking like an Egyptian and saying, this way. Bridging in karma, opening their crown with special key made just for them. The 6D here is the Queen of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, and the 7 of Wands. The Divine Feminine Queen of Pentacles with stiff upper lip, the Divine Masculine rising above drama and standing up with their flame in hand. Bridging in Atlas, where the boy meets world, from dungeon to light with flame in hand, leaving the wounded warrior behind, or resolving what did I write there? It could be a hemorrhoid. So leaving the wounded warrior behind, or resolving a hemorrhoid. I think that's what I wrote there. 535 is the Hierophant and the wounded warrior. I'm getting hamstring as well, though. The outgoing Divine Masculine is the 3 of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the 5 of Cups. present gifts, the Ace of Swords, the truth, laying in wait under the water, while they are looking up instead, where the cheese stands alone. As Puff, the magic dragon, about to explode, or splatter their color all over the space, or a star lets off rainbow colors like northern lights, or lovers retreat to see them. The masculine on the beach, but the feminine is on a stone in the turbulent sea, or immersed directly in the water, as the divine masculine needs to go in and get the sword off the stone, or both varying degrees of polarity dancing to the middle in the water up to their belly button, where lovers can fume together. Okay, so it's coming up as like the masculine sitting in the water but won't go in the ocean. The feminine's well into the ocean, but perhaps in the ocean higher. She could be in there higher than she needs to be, or she's not in there as high as she should be either, because she's waiting for the masculine to come in the water. But they're saying that the water, or the emotional energy that they need to sit in, it needs to be up to the belly button, because that's halfway up the body, right? The 2 inches below the belly button is the center of gravity for the human body. So it's saying you need to have half and half. The divine feminine sunshine, energizing or filling up to learn as the Page of Pentacles from the Queen of Pentacles. And so on the feminine side, there's a mother and child energy here. They could be siblings as well, or just learning from another earth sign. The divine masculine sovereign in their secret garden, the rock star out in space, and I was getting pigs in space, rising to tango in heat wave across the sun with flame in hand, waving at fans. And that's at 544, the Hierophant, and the 44 of grounding and integrating and mastering of love, the gym as well. So that comes up to 2. And it's funny because I always used to call my sister and her husband Kermit and Miss Piggy. So that could be coming up. At 544, the bridge, the crowd waving at the sun as Pegasus, or Peg as us, or US, leaves Poseidon, or pose I don, right? A pose that someone dons, where the water meets the air, meets the plasma portal to underground basement where the monk lives with the key. The divine feminine with Taurus and Leo, as well as the Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, the divine masculine with Aquarius and Gemini or twins, with sovereign and truth and lovers there. The divine masculine leaving the wounded warrior and or group behind. The overall energy here is the 53 of the Knight of Wands, which is the messenger of truth, and the Knight in shining armor, but also the catapult. The vertical pillars came up as 25, 0, and 28, which is the Knight of Wands, the source energy or space between, and then the 2 of Wands twin flame of the 28, or choice of path. The Knight of Wands was space from the twin flame Knight of Swords, or space between, which is interesting because I've been taking more time off between doing announcements, like every other day as opposed to every day. Then the vertical pillars were coming up as 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, the 0 of space, the 4 of the Emperor, again 0 with space, the 15 and 16, which is the Devil in the Tower, the 3 of the Empress, and then the 14, or the 1 of the Magician, the 4 of the Emperor, but also the 14 of the higher love, the angelic realms, and patience. And also 314, or Pi, comes up here, which is, had the line down the middle of the circle, which is half and half. Very well balanced. So this message on this side was coming up as space between when message was received, and between message and the devil event of the Empress in the Magician embodiment, with the Emperor catapulting 10-4, which is message received. The devil explodes with PI, which is pi, also could be a PI, that could be a principal investigator for research, and 314, which is Einstein, that could be at Albert Einstein, or that could just be the energy of pi, or the date March 14th, which is actually my daughter's birthday, or the Empress with a higher love with the Knight of Swords. Destined Emperor who needs space for devilish sexual energy exchange and conflict within the Emperor and the Knight of Swords at 555, which is big changes, right? And it's also the devil, the 555 is 15, which is the shadow side. So then we have the read in front of you, the Twin Flame General Read. Again, these are all general reads for the Twin Flame community. This is more of a general energy read as opposed to the union, the physical union. And if you want something more personalized, you can always check out my information below or on my website, twinflames3344.com. I have a CD out there also called Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames by Evelyn Stainthorpe, if you want to check that out. It's only $1 for a song. And the read in front of you is the Syrian Starseed deck, cut and dealt at 6 p.m. on the dot. So a lot of source energy backing up the 6 of the Lovers. At 6:11 of Flames came up, which can be drama as well as ES, which is the S of Sophia. And the 6:11 of Lovers and Justice, which is Truth and Balance. Then at 6:23, I completed the clarifications, which is the Lovers and the King of Wands. And he is the man of passion. The Luna of the Moon, the Tower, the Higher Self, and the Reason, which is the Emperor. The 3 Swords, 2 Cups, 1 Pentacle, and 4 Wands. So mostly swords and wands here. So either someone in their head too much and a lot of passion going on here, or intellectualizing with passion as well is going on here. The Knight of Swords with the Queen of Swords. And before the read, the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Cups came up. And of course, we have the triple 5s here, along with double 7s, which is sovereignty of the sovereign, the 9 of Pentacles. Also significant here is the 2 of the High Priestess, the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, that high vibe and destiny, as well as the 57 of the 3 of Swords, or separation, disappointment, or a broken heart, with the 24 of the Queen of Wands, the 57 of the 3 of Swords, and that 710 of 0 backing up the 3 of Pentacles for me, which is the co-creation energy. The code line here is all about intuition and forgiveness, and the number came out to 12, with 5 and 7, 7 also being significant here, and the 12 is the Hangman, the 5 is the change, the 7 is the vehicle of going within, the feminine within the masculine, ascending. The messages coming up here were of 5 union, or unions expanding, changing, or gaining their freedom. I was also getting Sag-miss, and Sag is union, but it's also Saggy comes up for me as God and Mr. Ed. So it's coming up as Christmas, but Sag-miss, union mass, 1221. After death of the Christ energy here, to the nth degree, the DNA of the twin flames, or the energy of the telepathic vision and their cord between the moon and Cancer, with the full moon here, but the moon, it's not in Cancer, but the moon is Cancer energy, was coming up there with the Chariot of the feminine within the masculine, and the Emperor with reason, clearing through intuition and forgiveness. It's like the masculine, or the Emperor saying, I've cleared through intuition and forgiveness. The faithful creation of the mass union after death to the nth degree, which can be referencing Christmas, and AD can be coming up as after Dark Night of the Soul, is what I'm getting right now. To the nth degree, the DNA of the twin moon, and I was getting Jacob's Ladder there as well, and twin moons. Twin moons, the object, it came up as an object finding game online, twin moons. Object finding game, and game is like Gamos, the hero's game. So the twin moons. And then Masad also came up, which means to knead, as in kneading bread. And then, so the message that came up online was from October 19th, which is today, 2018. Twin moons, quote unquote, arises because the red planet is predicted to be its closest to the Earth, appearing as a full moon. But there was also a message around that's a hoax, because we never see Mars as big as the moon. Then 5/1/12 came up, May 1st, 2012, as far as the twin moons is a mirage. It's a reflection that can come up because of weather conditions. So we also have the 5 of the change, freedom and expansion of the Hierophant, on the Sagittarius mass AD or Exodus was also coming up here, or kneading, or, like kneading bread to the nth degree. Twin DNA at night or in the moon. The Chariot, Emperor, or 7 reasons. I've intuition, or in Twin Towers, you and I connection and forgiveness, right? So the 2 T's are the twin connections. Perhaps that's the twin moons right now too, that they're both in that moony energy of being in the Twin Towers, the twins, which are you and I, in connection of the ion, and forgiveness. Seeing twins fly across the moon like Santa Claus was coming up here. 5 Sages and 7 Aries coming up, also being 12. The mass exodus with twin moons. IV energy, which also can be a 4 of the Emperor. The twin moons, IV energy, or Emperor's energy, or 4 energy of the new moon, or twilight of intuition and forgiveness. And then I was getting and the new moon is 11/4/21 Greenwich time, UTC, at 9:15, and here in the Philadelphia area is 5:14 p.m. on November 4th. So that's coming up for a reason, and there's the 4 again from the 4 that was coming up as the IV. So again, 5 Sagittarius, or 5 unions, 7 Aries though, also here, equals the 12 of the mass exodus with twin moons, IV energy of the new moon, or twilight of intuition and forgiveness. In the twilight of the new moon. Greenwich Mean Time. So that could be saying that the 4th of November new moon is the mass exodus. I don't know if there's a lot of Sag or Aries energy coming up that day, but you can let me know in the comments if you know. But it's a lot of fire, that's for sure. So there could be some kind of mass exodus coming up. And it could be some kind of, let's see what comes up around that. I'm not getting it as something, bad or negative, or like some kind of trauma. And instead of Christmas, Sagmas is coming up. Mass God energy, right? Because for me, Sagittarius is God. But it's also that Sagittarius, which we're coming into Sagittarius soon, mid-November, into December, which of course is Christmas. And then of course the timelines of 12/21 are very significant this year. There could be a max exodus from the 3D timelines into unions, into 5D. At 707 is the next page. Instead of 007, it's 707. 7 is the Chariot, or 70 is the 2 of Pentacles, right? The juggler and the Chariot. So I was just getting going for the jugular. The Knight of Swords upright, and beneath it is the 5 of Cups reversed, the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and the King of Cups upright. Getting over loss, regret. The Queen of Pentacles reversed and the King of Cups upright with message or delivery. High vibe message of bubble love or mini me. The Empress reversed and the Queen of Swords upright with issues at work in choosing a new path or facing their twin flame. The 9 of Cups energy of being satisfied. Satisfied guy offering big love from a resting state, or arrest or arrested state, or the 5D connection to the Queen of Wands reversed and the Queen of Cups upright with issues at work, moving to peace away from Scrooge or Scroogey energy. After a celebration or opening or school show or helping backstage, floating or emotions, and backstage comes up for me as a wound because when I was young and doing gymnastics, there was a girl on my team who was molested behind the stage at school. So there's a wound coming up there around sexual wounds, which will probably come up very strongly as I already got that message, but because Scorpio is coming up, the deep, dark places. So floating or emotions, feeling unsteady and or grounded or saved by not going with them on a trip, or left on the side of the road with their belongings, or kicked out of a hostel or work program and sent home. Yeah, I was definitely getting the energy, which will probably come up further in this read, about someone who's leaving literally on a cruise or a ship to go to another country, perhaps, where they're all planning on going, or one has chosen not to go and stay behind, or they're all going and then one gets off at the last minute, so they all leave without them, like they do it on purpose. It could be something, where a child's parents won't let them stay, so they run off the ship at the last minute when the ship takes off so that the parents can't get to them. The Knight of Swords mad at the world or got fired for sending messages or something inappropriate at school. The Two of Cups is reversed here in disconnect, not seeing eye to eye, or at a distance, not being able to see each other face to face. And the Knight of Swords rushing in with a DNA strand, an idea or donation, something to say to the Magician or the Emperor reversed, or Virgo or Gemini upright, and Aries reversed, who are not seeing eye to eye, perhaps about flowers at work, or FTD delivery, or found it, or Magician got new equipment and the Emperor reverse is not happy about it, or manifested an arrest. So that could be someone getting arrested who's been stealing, or arrest, like someone might have had a heart attack, but I wasn't getting any heart attack energy there, but that could be, or just manifesting a break. Romantic feelings, and beneath that very soon, feeling weak or not well, no more tackling the boar or being forced to drink the water. Death, dark night, transition, and the grim reaper. That can be someone who's reaping rewards, but they're grim even still, where the arrow is too big for the bow. The suffering in silence, or sister in a nightmare with no sleep or stress. Having sex in the dungeon, or with the black cat around, or a crest on the wall. Outside with two lovers, but home with the truth involved. And then I was getting, what's love got to do with it? So Tina Turner and Ike are definitely coming in here. Or teens or young adults finding places to get away with it, right? What do teens do when they want to get together? They can't be together at home, so they sneak to the basement, or they go outside, or that energy was definitely coming up. Or a man with two women, the angel and the devil, a rose garden, or thinking he's Hugh Hefner. And I was getting also, I never promised you a rose garden. Or American Gigolo is also coming up here. So again, sexual wounds. And this can be, a young boy who had sexual wounds from the get-go. And so they were, led down a negative path. Or the X's caliber in Excalibur, left unquestioned, the angel and the devil. Communication of 33, which is the Christ vibration, standing up for oneself without getting triggered, and the love partnership of the 26 of inspiration there with the Page of Wands, with new information or clarity, and the Hierophant in need of peace, with sovereign without the tools to manifest, choosing a path, or the twin flame, Knight of Wands, moving in on the King of Pentacles reversed, or slowing or showing some leg there. The Knight of Wands here could be a female, trying to get someone's sexual attention. Hiking and runs into the Knight of Wands upright, or King of Pentacles reversed, or twin offers up a word, or the King of Pentacles is ignoring sexual advances. He's all about the money, or his mind is on other things. That's the King of Pentacles reversed. We have Leo and Virgo or Gemini reversed, Scorpio, Gemini, and Taurus upright there. The underlying energy here with Libra upright and Taurus reversed, ending conflict or fighting a losing battle at 741, the Chariot and the Ace of Cups, new love or self-love. Perhaps the Sovereign out in the cold with their soulmate, with going forward after this with clarity, or the Chariot from the past, twin flame, in a heated exchange with the Knight of Wands. At 743, which is the Chariot and the Three of Cups coming together, the recent past of the Ten of Cups upright, complete and fulfilled in a happy ending or hanging out, playing ball or saving for a new life, grounding and integrating, saving, holding on to a secret passion, as the Queen of Wands reversed, a sister or someone suffering in silence, in need of strength to juggle, balance, or find humor in the situation, or be aroused in separation, with the Page of Wands reversed, frustrated or all over the place, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, withholding messages or being negative at 747, which is the Chariot and the Seven of Cups, synchronicities. or heaven in their eyes. Capricorn upright, Pisces reversed, and Leo reversed as well here. Capricorn is good, but the Ten of Cups family is not happy, or it's way overdue to be completed here or done. The Queen of Wands reversed, Page of Wands reversed, Queen of Pentacles reversed, and Page of Swords all reversed right here. The foundation being the Tower upright in a sudden event, epiphany, or sexual exchange, sleeping with the King of Wands reversed, the King of Swords upright, and the Page of Pentacles upright in heated exchange with the Divine Feminine, Pisces, or the world that's coming full circle here or complete, with Scorpio and Pisces upright here. The challenge being the Two of Swords reversed, new information that knocks them off balance, frustrated or sexual energy of overwork, or no matter what they do, it's just not working out. Satisfied dark night, getting over their loss and regret in a divorce, a break in contract, or thinking outside the box, or the Queen of Pentacles reversed, who could be Taurus here, or with someone with Taurus in their chart, impatient or impatient or losing patience, fallen angel in a divorce, or Sagittarius reversed and Taurus reversed, challenged by the Moon reverse, which is deception, or getting up really early under the radar, with jealousy and or rejection, detoxing of the Queen of Cups with announcements or wake-up call, and the Lovers blowing their top, their crown, their cover, or their mind in a sudden event, epiphany, or that Tower moment, or that sexual exchange. The Page of Swords reversed, coming clean, or still lying and being sneaky, with fairy justice of synchronicities and options, confusion with inequity of deception, or needing to get up before dawn in a losing battle with lovers who are out in the cold with an olive branch, and the Knight of Pentacles offering happiness, and the wounded warrior surrendering to detoxing sexual energy and or frustration, and the inability to conceive or conceive of something. So now present in this crowning position there is I was getting a lot of snake energies there. Now is the Five of Pentacles, the Hermit in exile above the group, grounding and integrating the Knight of Pentacles, who's the loyal, humble servant, and the Lovers reaping peace away from the Knight of Wands and the Emperor reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed. In a twist of fate, the Hermit shedding light, losing patience in a bold move as third party, no longer patient, with the King of Pentacles reversed, fallen angel not expressing their true feelings and living in the past, with the Queen of Swords with Libra and or Cancer in Leo in their chart, in unfair exchange, with the Hatari Dak or two bulls split, the Atlas working hard, or slave and slave driver here. Sovereign sunshine of twin flame and the King of Swords moving or visiting, or homecoming or unstable situation with justice of Libra, and soon is the Seven of Cups upright, taking steps with the truth in hand, using synchronicities, forcing someone's hand to get them to walk away from the Page of Wands reversed, who's hurt or in exile with deception, or up early for appointments. The Queen of Swords is upright and the King of Swords is upright here, in separation post-war here, she detoxing and he frustrated. The twin flames are seeing themselves as the Queen of Swords and not so higher self, ending conflict, receiving love from the Page of Cups reversed, or one formerly rejected or vulnerable. Sunshine of the King of Cups in bliss or surrender, with soul tie twin flame, with true love, that this is a romance of a lifetime, and to keep an open mind, as well as religious factors, that there are major differences here, whether it's religion, culture, age, whatever it is, at 804, which is the dance of manifestation, and the 4 of that lower vibration of manifesting survival, but 4 is also the Emperor. So strength and the Emperor, or the dance of the Emperor, and then the 8 and the 5, which is the Hierophant, and change, freedom, expansion. And 5 and 8 is also the catapult. It's also considered greased lightning. So Grease, the movie, may be coming up here as well. Religious factors. Okay, so around the twins, or how they're seen, is the higher self reversed, which is the secret passion, or not using their intuition and needing to. The star reaping rewards, or a dream come true of retirement. And the Fool is free to leap away from the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community of dysfunction or loss. And the block here being the Emperor reversed, or no reason post-war, with lots of options and confusion, seeing synchronicities here. Forgiveness, intuition, and follow your dreams, even more so, comes up here for the twins, with sudden rage of jealousy, with the Knight of Cups reversed, or Scorpio reversed, detoxing instability of the home, a visit, or the party's over. I was just getting the name Patty as well. The party's over for the King of Swords, who's defenseless to the energies and or attack, or surprise, imprisoning them. So even a surprise party could make someone feel imprisoned, that they can't get out of it. Family is happy here, or seemingly happy on the outside, with the wounded warrior surrendering, with no growth and detoxing. Capricorn reversed, Libra upright, Scorpio upright here. Post-war of the roses, or done stretching and growing and wanting to reap rewards with the divine feminine's heart. In the E Tower, saving for a new life at 811, which is the dance of justice, or the divine saving for the divine feminine and holding back their time, money, and effort. The Knight of Swords with sudden explosion of energy, with the Queen of Swords in secret passion, and the Ten of Cups with new information, challenged by deception and taking steps without reason, the Hermit in exile of the group, and moving or visiting or unstable home, post-war or growth, reaping rewards of holding back or saving, and the Knight of Swords delivery to the Ten of Cups, King of Pentacles reversed, or the family of the King of Pentacles reversed, who at least is ungrounded or having a bad day, if not losing money and status, or just all about money and more greedy, could be coming up here as well. There's a sudden event or epiphany here, and or sexual exchange, with clarity of exile in the Mary Magdalene cave, challenge being the moon reversed, with deception or getting up before dawn, as the Queen of Swords on the stairway to heaven, with secret passion and out of control, no reason and or unstable home, or the Emperor reversed is moving post-war of the frog becoming the prince and reaping rewards at the E Tower, saving and withholding for that new life at 818, which is the dance again of the 8 of manifestation of their dreams, and the 18 of the moon, which the full moon's coming up tomorrow. So that was the message there. Very profound messages for me. And let's go ahead and pull a few oracle cards here for you guys. I do want to pull a yoga card for you, because I probably said I was going to do that last time and I didn't. I'm sorry about that. My memory doesn't hold on for very long, since I got hit by a car when I was jogging. So I'm pretty normal, but not fully. But that's good, right? Okay. It all happens for a reason. So from the yoga deck, a position perhaps that might help you to stretch out some of the stuck energies that you're holding. So let's see what comes up. And again, don't do something that's not safe for you. You know, check with your doctor if you're not sure. All right, so we have this position here, which I'm going to show you. Let me just clear that up a little bit so it's really clear. Okay, because here's the instructions on the back. So balancing the cat, which is also number 10. And then this card also came up, which is complete breath. So if you just want to read that, you can as well. Okay, so that's from the yoga deck. And yeah, that one with stretching your arm, your opposite arm and leg out, is a really good balance stretch and exercise. It's not a real easy one, so if you're someone who's struggling with your health right now, you might want to make sure that you're okay to do that. All right, and this is from the Metatron deck. So let's see what kind of guidance Metatron wants to give you here. For the Twin Flame Collective here. Whoop, a whole bunch of cards fell out, so I guess that's not going to happen. The one that's left in my hand is this one where action is needed. You know, just make sure to move your body around to release the stuck energies. That's also the 9 of the Hermit. So remember to go within, but also, you know, move your body, which I'm getting a lot of stretching this week. They weren't bringing up a lot of difficult exercises. It was much more about stretching and releasing energy, as opposed to, you know, hard workouts or that kind of stuff. And these cards are all kind of mixed up, but I read these all upright. So let's see what's coming up for you here. Oh, that one came. There we go. That was easy. So 2 cards came out, and this is, this way. Mother Earth, which is grounding and support, and that came up earlier for me as well with 18, which is the full moon. So again, lots of grounding for the full moon here, and there's an ice cube here too, so there might be some cold weather coming in, right? So you might want to take in plants that might get frost here. And then we have clarity of going within the 15 of the devil, which is the shadow side. So just get clarity that's what in your shadow is coming up for you to see. Okay, and being that it might get cold, it's, you know, more time to be inside, which may be a reason why people aren't outside exercising as much. But we're being called to do more stretches here as opposed to, you know, hard workouts. The bottom of the deck here, so again, lots of grounding and clarity, go within, grounding and meditating. The bottom of the deck is the Kundalini, and that's been the chakra system, the whole thing has been coming up a lot lately. And I was getting to focus on, like, so I have burning in my spine around here, and I get it a lot here too. And I have a little bit here where I jammed my waist here. But I keep getting the yellow to focus on the healing here at the center at the waist, which is also that belly button center of gravity energy here, which the waist probably is a little bit above the belly button, whereas the center of gravity is just a little bit below the belly button. So anyway, getting that yellow area and healing in there, focusing your intention on that spot perhaps may be very healing, especially when you're sitting in this pose. And we have the wounded warrior here. And there's untapped energy that needs to be released. And beneath that is follow the birds. The birds are also sending little messages to you. Signs from the spirit with love. So watch the birds. There may be some robins or perhaps cardinals coming up for you. 50 is emotional fulfillment. You know that you have fun communicating with the birds and untapping new energy from your Kundalini. So that's coming up for you as well. So let's see what the animal deck has for you. It's 1:21 already. I don't want to take too long. It's 12:51 on the clock, which is the Hangman and the King of Swords. And the 1 of the Magician, the 21 of Completion. All right, so from the Animal Spirit Guidebook. And I think it's the Wild and Untamed Animal Spirit Guidebook, but you know what they look like here. So we have the turtle here, and he's struggling with the dark energies. He's slow because he's having a hard time making his way through this dark energy. And he's like saying, don't fence me in. Like, you know, I'll get there when I get there. Don't push me. I can only go as fast as I can. And then here's the eagle who triggers energy, right? It's like the fire that's lit underneath people, according to the guidebook, when they need, you know, to get up and going, to get moving. So the eagle may be triggering to the turtle who's feeling really inundated with dark energy right now. And we also have the zebra here opening their third eye with the wise one. So again, this could be the energies of the, hold on a second. There's 3 more cards that want to be seen. These could both be the masculine and the feminine, right? So the masculine may be here with the feminine, and then again, the masculine and the feminine coming up here as the one with their third eye open, and the one who's more in balance here, the balanced energy outside, and here's more the balanced energies inside the third eye. But they definitely look like they're within the same family here. They both have the same eyes. You see that? How cute is that? They both have the same eyes, and maybe the same ears here too. All right, so it's definitely coming up as twin energy, right? But this is the masculine struggling to get through and needing to do it in their own time. So again, like I said before, don't let people pull you down into their energy, but also you might want to wait for the masculine to catch up a little bit, which may be why we're being called to just go within and do a lot of stretching and healing, that kind of stuff on ourselves, which is always the case anyway. The bottom of the deck is the fox. All right, so we have the fox who's in a lot of that yellow energy is coming up again to focus on that solar plexus energy, or around the belly button through there, the navel to the solar plexus. And then we have the transformation going on. So they're a little bit weak from going through the transformation, which is referencing the turtle energy. They're slow because they went through a big transformation and they have transformed, but they're still weak. So they need to gather their energy, being sly like a fox, focusing on the solar plexus, right, which is confidence. And then there's 3 more cards that wanted to be seen, which is the otter, which is that innocent, curious energy of the 2-year-old in the diaper. And then the scorpion sting and the golden egg, right? So this is like the interference here This is the bacteria that gets into the clam or the oyster, and the otter's watching to see how it's done, right? Because this is a trigger that cracks open the egg. It allows the pearl to grow, right? So the otter's seeing the whole process of how this actually happens, right? Because first, when they see the sting, they know that that doesn't feel good, but why is that a necessary evil here? And then they see that the sting, just like in having sex, the stinger, is how you get a baby in the first place. And this could be someone finding out too where babies come from. But it's the same process of the trigger. Sex is the same thing as a trigger, triggering you to bring up those old wounds so you can release them, so you can feel better and be happier. The golden egg is the heart. So it's really being kind to yourself when getting triggered as well. Really focusing on your heart space. So we're really being guided to the golden egg, but also the energy of the solar plexus. It's all about the yellow here, right? Because the orange, you need to transmute the orange into the yellow and the gold. Very interesting there. This also could be, I'm getting the energy of the otter here, very much like the zebra and the deer. And they can be either way, the masculine, feminine, or feminine and masculine. Either way, it comes up, right? But then again, this is coming up as a child or the new, right? It's the new coming together of the child, the third energy of coming together in the nest. And the stinger that's out. Okay, so you can take that any which way you want, but it's a very nice message there. Let's see what the Journey of Love says. Journey of Love, and don't forget we have the Aries, which is that, me first kind of energy. And then the moon of the family, the home and family, and the selfishness within the family. And then the two of the mediation of that selfishness, right? The feminine energy being able to see both sides of the situation, where the masculine energy within both the masculine and the feminine is the more like me first energy, okay? So that came right up, 2 cards. All right, we have Yin Yang Lover, which is the balance between them, the feminine bending over backwards, the feminine energy within the masculine and the feminine bending over backwards to do the dance, to manifest their dreams. And then we have the Heart of God here, which is the 9 of the Hermit. So there's a lot of hermiting energy that came up in this read, and stretching and releasing of energies, and focusing on the chakra system, especially the gold and the heart. Yeah, I'm getting this is the same thing from a different perspective. So you see her over here? This is her over here. They're showing it to you from a different perspective, as in my meditation just before that, where I told you the little girl was sitting like on a round table that was circling around. It's giving me that same type of energy of circling the cycle of life and seeing different perspectives. And her hair is actually flowing right into, you see how it flips? It's like flip, like that. That's so weird. Okay? So it's like the Heart of God, the yin yang energy of the masculine and feminine dance is the reflection of God, the Heart of God. It's really beautiful energy here. And there's the breaking of it, the King of Pentacles, clash. What's that song? Smash, where they smash, clash, where I crash into you. That's coming up here. So after the feminine bending over backwards, it's literally so, when the masculine comes in, he molds right to her. It's very interesting energy that way. And it's right on the solar plexus, and you're being guided to focus on the solar plexus, right? Because in order to be in a backbend like that, you have to be very confident, because you're exposing your whole midsection, right? You're trusting whoever comes into that space. You're giving them their full trust. It's like in the movies where the guy says to the girl, "Do you trust me?" Right? When they go to do something wild and crazy, like taking off on a motorcycle 100 miles an hour. And here we have Heart Fire next, as well as the Jupiter Awakening. And here's that alignment of the two. And the farther they go, the more they actually become one in the same. They don't have to change positions. They just keep going, and then the two alignments become as one. And there's that Christ vibration within the heart unfolding. the heart fire of the magician embodiment of the lovers, the angel of Jupiter awakening here. And the ancient ones too. 52 has been coming up a lot, the Queen of Swords. She's gathering the light. You see, she's arched back again because she needs to take the light in. Okay, the bottom of the deck here is, and this is a reminder too, within nothing there's everything. So again, the implosion explosion thing came up constantly in the read today. And then creation and birth was coming up a lot too. The underlying energy is dream a little with the 51, the King of Swords, going into his feminine energy. And then the woman of earth, man of the sky. So both are coming up constantly here. It's the balance between them. The 48 of walking away and within when needed, as the feminine lays her hair into the vortex here. And there's a bunch of feminines here. It's like they're all laying their heads into the volcano, right, for a sacrifice. And waiting to, it's like their feelers out. And dreaming a little. So they're taking a nap together. All these girls are hanging out, but leaving their hair out there just in case. And there's their hair again. The long hair is a connection, dreaming a little of the King of Swords. All right, so let's read, see what comes up. The first animal is the turtle. We need to read the turtle. Where are you, turtle? Turtle's hiding. Seriously, the turtle's hiding. Like, where are you? I'm not finding the turtle. I'm probably looking in the wrong place. Keep looking in the wrong place. What's with that? There it is. Okay, the turtle. So the turtle is slow. The ancient soul, grounded, trusting, at home in the self. It is wonderful to be in the presence of a turtle personality. Like the beaver, the turtle has a strong relationship with the earth and water elements simultaneously. This helps to ground and connect them to the deeper truths of life, no matter where their travels lead them. The turtle energy is behind all great writers and storytellers as they collect life experiences under their shells for later use. The most potent turtle energy helps us to close all the other books and begin to tell their own true tale. When in balance, they're peaceful, adventurous, and productive, and when they're out of balance, they slow down to halt. To bring into balance, an adventure is needed for the turtle. And that's where the eagle's coming in to trigger them. Trigger them into an adventure. And then the first card out was from the Journey of Love was Yin Yang, which is 8, which says the force of attraction is stronger than your conscious control. There is no need to fight this inner genius. You can learn to speak its language instead. What is it that captures you, that pulls you close, that holds so much light for you? Why fight it? Don't step away from what you really love to grab hold of a second prize. Why not claim your first prize? It's there waiting for you. It is yours alone, beloved. No one else can claim your own divine birthright for you. Be yielding and let your desire fill your body, your heart, and your mind. You don't have to fight for what is already yours. It will come to you through the field of attraction that emanates from your own heart. It is not a question of worthiness or deservedness. It is not a question of trying to work out what you need or want. Your heart always knows. Listen. If you still can't hear, then just feel. You'll get to the gist of it soon enough. This oracle has a message for you. No matter whether you seem to be heading closer to your goal or further away, you are making real spiritual progress, and what you want is the same thing that is wanting you. What you are seeking is seeking you. It's only a matter of time before you get it. The moment when to fill my heart again is measured not in time or sweet remorse, nor tears that wash away unbridled pain, or morning's light which sings its soft retort. Such love is slept through storm and winters long. No call could break the stillness's embrace, or hasten change before the season's song unfurls its melody and words so chaste. Empowered thus I found myself compelled to to cast aside emotions dormant still. My feelings spoke from depths, the answer welled, no need or past the emptiness to fill. At one our touches opened hearts anew, of patience born, there waits a love so true. Okay, make sure you drink your water, get your rest, your joy in your nature. Breathe. And breathe. And rise and be loved, guys. Bye.